Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Minecraft 1.18 Release Candidate 4. Specifically, this is my Cowcornia World, completely reseeded, not upgraded from my previous gameplay from 1.17 and earlier. Haven't done one of these in a while, just exploring it completely reseeded. And I almost skipped today because it looked like Release Candidate 3 was going to be the one. But then this morning, just before I was getting ready for the stream, about maybe half hour or so ago, I brought up the launcher, and there is Release Candidate 4. So here we are. It is brand spanking new. I believe I checked it earlier this morning, and it was still on 3, but now we have 4. And here we are. This is the spawn area for the Cowcornia seed. I'll put that in the description if you're looking at this on YouTube later on after the stream. Or if you are here, let me go ahead and grab it. And where are we? And I'm going to put it in the stream chat. That's the seed. I don't know why I had to leave the screen there. Should have just done a /seed. Anyway, and there it is on the screen if you're not in the chat. So yeah, that is our seed here in 1.18 Release Candidate 4, and we're just going to have a nice little look around. You might notice I have the clouds on. I don't usually, and I may take them off if we go way up high. You'll probably find out why I have those later on. Maybe. I do have a reason. It may become apparent in the days to come. Just a project that I'm working on that I might need some things in the sky, just as for reference points. Anyway, that's something that's it's in the works, and we'll see how that goes. But right now, let's take a look around. So let's see. We are facing... Where are we? What am I doing? Hitting the wrong keys. All right. So this is to the east, which was... Let's see. And then south over here, which would be the direction towards the old atrium base. The main base, its coordinates were around in here someplace near spawn. And also back over here near where the atrium base was the ill-fated Lush Cave cliffs. And actually, I'm going to turn off these clouds right now, because they are, I think, hurting my frames per second. So we'll just turn them off altogether. And that much less to encode for the video as well. So we got a nice taiga forest here. Fair amount of water here. This is a nice little island here. This could make a good spot for a base. Or, you know, the upper structure of a base, if you want to put it like down below ground. And it might be an interesting place for below ground, because I see an azalea tree right there in the middle of the water here, and another one right over there, as well as one over there. So it looks like we are right smack dab in Lush Cave country here. So could be a very interesting place for an underground base. Continuing on, we're not going to run into the cliffs, I don't believe, because they're pretty much gone. And that's the interesting thing. Really, since then, I've not seen a lot of big mountains exploring around. Although, admittedly, most of the explorations I've been doing in the recent snapshots and pre-releases and release candidates has been looking at the border between old chunks and new chunks on a converted world. You know, my original world converted. And I don't know if there are any right now in the archives here on Twitch, but if you look over on the YouTube channel, and there should be a link to that in my Twitch channel info, you will see some of those videos for the explorations there, and also some showing the evolution of the different changes from the earliest snapshot release, where they first started letting people update their old worlds, up until, well, release candidate 3 at this point. I haven't done updates to release candidate 4 yet. I may or may not. Looking at the release notes for this release candidate 4, all it says is fixed an issue with the lower distribution of coal ore. Now, the question there is, lower distribution of coal ore, does that mean the distribution of coal ore at lower Y values? Or was there a problem with there being a low distribution of coal ore? There just wasn't as much as there should be. Which is it? English is a funny thing. Maybe the release notes in another language make it a bit clearer. I don't know. Maybe there's something that was lost in translation coming to English. If you have access to the release notes in a different language and it makes it clearer, whether it was the distribution deeper down below the ground, or if the amount of coal was reduced and now it's fixed, if that's clearer in one of those other languages, let me know. Either in the stream chat or one of the comments on YouTube or whatever. And I'm sure someone will take a look at that as well. I'm sure someone will look into that. But yeah, I'd like to know about that. So anyway, we have here, I'm going to set the time to daylight. And traditionally on these exploration runs, I like to kind of go along the coast. Because I like the mountainous regions, but what I really like is when you have mountains right next to ocean. I love a good rugged shore. I think that has so many possibilities as far as base building. You know, I have heard some people complain in some of those early snapshot releases about, you know, the big cliffs by the water and all that stuff. It's like, oh, these cliffs, they're so tall, they're so high, you know. You know what? If you run into that with a boat, you probably still have a pickaxe with you. You can make yourself stairs, if nothing else, or tunnel up to the surface, whatever you want to do. This is Minecraft. You can do that. It's easy. You're not limited to just climbing up whatever existing structure unless you're in adventure mode. So yeah, quit complaining. Start mining. You can do it. Some of the people complaining about that are professionals. Come on, do it. You have the capability. We know that you can. Frames per second a little low, but that I think is from the train generation going on. Because it is generating all this stuff. Pre-release 4 came out sometime between in the maybe the last maybe 3 hours since I had checked it before. So, and I was running errands and such before the stream, so I have had no opportunity to kind of pre-explore some of the areas like I usually like to do, just so that these chunks load up a little bit faster rather than generating on the fly. Although, you know, with exploration, you're going to have that kind of thing. But yeah, I usually like to kind of pre-explore, find the interesting spots, maybe jump to them and then take off doing new areas. Unlike right now, where we're kind of not. So let's see what we got to find over here. Nice little beach area here, and a little jungle right here on the island there. It's almost Disney-like. But fortunately, that is not who owns Minecraft. That would be Microsoft who does. So, you know, pick your poison. But it will not come in an apple. Oh, there's a little shipwreck right there. Just poking out. Let's let some of this load up. Little pumpkin patch. Oh, that reminds me. My atrium base is still decorated for Halloween. I need to clear that out. Oh, a little village over here. An unfortunate choice of paths. Something else I'm going to have something to say about. But that is another project. All right. This kind of got put on hold for the moment. Let's see. So we're looking at, okay, that's just a, so I guess that's a little ravine there. Or a cave. Oh, it might be a waterfall there. Yeah, just a little low spot, basically. Let's go down and take a look. Come on. Here we go. There we are. Oh, yeah, that's, it's just a little hollow. With this little waterfall coming down. It's nice, it's pretty. Be an interesting spot to put a base. Oh. Is that caves going all the way down there, or just a hole, really? Might be some caves down here. If you were to venture into that, maybe, or maybe not. Looks like it might be the bottom there. But yeah, just lightly carved here, I guess. But it might connect to some other caves, and you got the water right here on either side of it. That's kind of an interesting formation altogether. Would make for a neat little hidden base. Oh, okay, wait a second. Yeah, cave right over here, though. And I've got new... Okay, I guess I touched the water, so now I have a recipe for a boat. So I think that's how that works. Anyway, moving on. Oh, we have a Pillager Outpost over here. I wonder... Many of the places that we're looking here are places that I've looked in my border explorations. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's one thing that I do recall in one of my recent explorations, is that in this seed, off to the west of the, roughly to the west of the spawn area, there's a lot of badlands. A lot of badlands off to the west. This is a good seed for badlands if you head west. And this is a nice little hollow here in there. I mean, you could make yourself a little base out of that. I mean, you're right next to the villagers here. You can use some of these caves and stuff down here as a start for, you know, digging out an underground base. Dig it into the side of these little mesas here, or whatever the narrow ones are called. I forget what the heck they were called. But yeah, and with lots and lots of terracotta as well. Some caves, of course. So you may have to do a little bit of lighting up there. Got some water there. I think yeah, that is That is kind of probably spilling from their irrigation. I'm not sure why that one's not flowing. Or maybe the simulation is not, we're not close enough for that. Well, no, it should be close enough now. Villagers are moving around. So, yeah. Another bug, not a critical one. That's really something that kind of sort of thing that I've been seeing like in 117 as well. And I think 116 before that. In fact, in my hardcorn world, there was one little crop area that, oh, I love this river going through here. That looks like it'd be so scenic to just boat along on there. Set up a little dock someplace by your base. If you were to put a base, whoa, okay, spinny. If you were to put a base in here, I'm thinking you could probably tunnel through over to this side, put a little dock on the river if you like. That'd be a neat little arrangement. So let's see, as far as like, say, if you needed glass, you got all this desert right over here. The desert village even. Small one, but it's there. You do have to deal, though, with the Pillager Outpost right nearby, though. That is a bit of a handicap for this spot. And I don't know if there's a way to eradicate them. I was playing several months ago with my kid, and we were just, flying around in creative, exploring, which is something that, the kid likes to do. And I figured, okay, let's see if we can, eliminate this thing. And I basically burned the thing to the ground. And there were still pillagers spawning there regularly. So, yeah. All right, now here's a little thing that I think needs some adjustment. Jungle right next to badlands. That's a bit abrupt, without like a mountain in between or something like that, or at least a river. But yeah, they're just right there butting up against each other, so you get these dried out jungle trees. That's a little bit problematic. Kind of takes you out of it a little bit. And from what I understand, looking at the history of how these biomes get laid out and generated and chosen, at one point they were going like on a matrix of hot and cold, wet and dry, I believe, and but they just added so many different new biomes, it got a bit problematic, making the grid there. And I mean, if I think it still could work if, say, a spot on the grid could be occupied by one or the other of a couple different biomes, and had some sort of way to determine which would win out. That seems like it could be doable. But they kind of went away from that and just started, okay, we'll just, if we get biomes next to each other that aren't really, compatible, we'll just stick a river in between. But it looks like they don't always, do that. It seems to be, something that's not always done. Oh, a little mine shaft there, all exposed. I guess whatever mesa was there has eroded away. Or maybe these guys mined it all out. Looks like they're using some of those blocks to build their village. Oh, that's neat how that's just kind of cut into the hillside there. That is that's done fairly well. Although I think these paths over the water here should be wood. Even in a desert village, they have wood for the doors. They get that somehow, so should be able to have wood for the you know, little boardwalks there. I have opinions about villages. Some of you may have heard them. What is that? Oh yeah, ruined portal. But yeah, I do have opinions about village and village generation. What are we doing? Oh, we are way low in the old FPS there. But if we're standing still, it doesn't really matter. All these chunks kind of pop into existence anyway, but I would like to have things a little smoother for you guys. So we'll let these generate, and then I'm going to do a little something to help all that along. One moment. That's a bit better, a little smoother. All this is still reloading though. All right, so let's go this way. We'll count these as one contiguous ocean and keep going along the coast. I'm hoping to find some mountains here. And yeah, the badlands are fine. The badlands are great. Love me good badlands. Is this a little cave down here? Yeah, oh yeah, that's just spilling right down in there. It's kind of interesting. This chunk just not loaded. There it goes. It's kind of interesting. On some of these explorations that I've done, as I'm approaching new areas, when it comes within range of the simulation distance, especially with the sand, like in deserts and beaches, I'll be going along, and then all of a sudden, some section will just collapse when the simulation distance reaches it, and usually this is like right around the shore. So I'm assuming that is something that normally kind of maybe happens before a chunk starts getting rendered. Back before we had a separate rendering distance, or before a separate rendering distance and simulation distance. But I would like to see, oh, here we go. I would like to see at some point maybe some kind of differentiation between oh, is this at Gnarly Mountain? Never came to before, or maybe similar to it anyway. Okay, there goes the water spilling down. So now that we've come within range, I would like to see certain things like, you know, waterfalls and lava falls and things like that. I wouldn't mind those being computed at full distance. You know, especially if you could do some kind of optimization so that it's like, yeah, it's known that this is stable. There's nothing around it that would make it unstable, and just very quickly determine that and then move on through the simulation cycle. If that could be done without, greatly impacting the performance, I think that would be nice to have. And if someone, has a nice beefy system, which I don't really, But someone on a nice beefy system, that could work if they have the option of, you know, increasing the say the fluid simulation distance. You know, or like maybe put some kind of fluid simulation distance multiplier or something like that, you know. Or have it just as a separate setting, fluid simulation distance, but have it stipulated that the effective fluid simulation distance is going to be the general simulation distance or the fluid distance, whichever is greater. So if you set your fluid simulation distance greater than the general simulation distance, then yeah, then the fluids will get worked on farther out. Now the question there that might bring up with is, say, if you have like a mob that gets spawned out at whatever distance. If it's like outside the general simulation distance but inside the fluid distance, and it gets you know, lava flowing onto it, is it just going to sit, you know, just stand there, you know, standing in the lava, not being affected by it until it comes within the simulation distance, and then all of a sudden it starts burning? Well, maybe so. Oh, that is that's nicely buried. Looks nice. Let's see, looks like a ravine down here with a little waterfall in it. That's pretty. A fair number of villages. But maybe it just appears that way because I have my render distance set to 32 and I'm way the heck up high. Down on the ground, it may not, on a more typical rendering distance. And let me fix this. All right. But where was I? What was I saying? What the heck was I saying? Shoot, I hate that. Anyway, oh yeah. Village distribution. It seems like there's a lot when you look at it from up here, but it may be just that, you know, you can see farther, and I've got the rendering distance on 32, etc., etc. So yeah, I see farther because I am flying way up above where the shoulders of the giants would be. Because giants would maybe be what, as tall as these trees here, if that. Not sure. Not gonna spawn one. That would be just silly. Or should I go ahead and be silly? What do you think? Should I be silly? All right, I'm gonna get over the beach. Spawn a giant. Or summon a giant. And there he goes. Is he gonna get killed when he hits the ground? Probably. Yeah, kind of seems like it. Okay. Let's try that again from a little lower. There he goes. Okay, so yeah. Shorter than the trees. Let's get rid of him. Come on. There he goes. I've earned that. Okay. I mean, you know, you slay a giant, you should get some experience points. All right, up we go. A little cave over there. The block floating in the air. Nice. All right, continuing on. So yeah, giants aren't that tall, and really can't be. But yeah, giants, they're in there. they, you know, you can bring them into the game. Generally, you're only going to see them like in some kind of adventure mode thing. You know, some level that someone has created. You know, maybe someplace has a giant spawner. Okay, see, now we're getting into a little bit of mountains here. But I want to see more of that. I want to see more on the shore. More mountains. I want to see a good... See, now this is like some little stone... It's some stony shore there. And it's nice. But I want to see a big, big cliff. I want to have like this right up against the shore with a huge cliff face. I love that. I've said it before, and I will say it again. I love that. Especially if you have like, you know, a little bit of cave carving down at the water level, you know. See, I mean, oh, there goes the stream there. Should come back momentarily. I'll hang out here until it comes back just to make sure. But it should come back any moment. Why am I not getting the notification? Hey, there we are. We're back again. All right. I'm not sure where it left off. But anyway, yeah. Cliffs. Love them. I love when we have a big cliff sides by the ocean. Maybe with like some little caves down at the water level that you can kind of go into and make a little, you know, sheltered sheltered docking area and stuff like that. I love that idea. In fact, one of the early snapshots that I explored, there was just such a mountain. There's like just flat out mountain. And one of the experimental snapshots, or a few of them, it was in there. But of course, during the experimental snapshots, they were just all over the place with terrain generation, just trying out ideas. Like, how's this? How's this? You know, better one, better two, all this kind of stuff. And, you know, and that mountain disappeared. It was just gone. And I loved it so. But we found others that were very nice as well. But it's been a little while since I've seen a really good one. Oh, that's a nice little jungle cave there. That's pretty cool. That would be neat to find. Hidden away. Oh, is this a big old volcano here? Now, having something like this erupt is probably something that they will never do. From what I understand of their philosophy as far as this goes, they are shying away from natural disasters. Unless there's some kind of mechanism by which you can control them or, you know, become relatively impervious to them or whatnot. They've had, you know, thunderstorms for quite a while. You've been able to, you know, just jump into bed and end them. And they've also since added copper and lightning rods. So if you do have lightning strike nearby, you can kind of have some control over where it hits. Which, you know, which is nice because you can actually put it someplace, you know, desirable. If you want to have like a creeper farm and, you know, have some lightning go in there so they get charged. Oh my goodness, we are very... Okay, continuing on. So we got some little bamboo jungle right by the shore there. Oh, right by a ruined portal with some vines growing on it. Oh, that looks nice. I don't know if I've seen that before. I guess they would tend to be kind of hidden in the jungles, which is, you know, kind of the, you know, the idea with jungles. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I don't know if that's my system or a little bug. A little rendering issue there. I don't know. There we go. That's going now. I've noticed sometimes things will just like sit there not loading, and then you shift a little bit one way or the other, and you know, things start popping back in. So something is occasionally failing to get triggered to render stuff, but then shifting around triggers it. And if it always happens kind of at some distance, then that's usually going to be okay. You know, unless you're flying around in creative like this. Or maybe with Elytra, though. Elytra is actually a bit faster than this. Allow me to demonstrate. You were going around pretty quick. All right, I think we've rested ourselves here. Okay. Now this, an azalea tree right in the desert. Interesting how it's got a little, well, it's not really a stump. That's like, it's just kind of bent over. So yeah, those will grow up right in the desert. Just rooted down into that lush cave. And yeah, that's kind of busted through there. Nothing getting through there, though, even though it's just sand right there. Yeah, the hydrodynamics and erosion and stuff in Minecraft it's its own thing. It's not the real world. It is just fantasy. And basically you're coming here to escape from reality. But, you know, also from a gameplay standpoint, having things behave in a way that kind of, you know, makes sense or is at least learnable is good enough, I guess. Because, you know, the rules here are different from in real life. So this is kind of what I'm talking about, but small. This is like pre-118 scales here. I want something big. I want something huge, humongous. And we've got a fair amount of ocean here that we've been following along behind. Oh, there's a nice little village here. Does it have a path going through there? Does it have anything in that in the side of that mountain? I don't see any structures in there. Scoot around over here a little faster. Yeah, and not really road. Well, it's got a little bit of a path going in there, but maybe it's down below. There's some glow lichen casting some light, but that's about it. Yeah, so yeah, they just got a road going over there. And is that what's carving into the mountainside there? Because that seems to happen sometimes. The layout of the village just kind of, other than the, you know, there's cave carvers and then there's like village carvers as well. And they've got a little green space here by the river, which is nice. That's kind of neat. Little coral ocean right out in the middle of the desert there. Interesting place for it. Another one over there. There is one way out west of spawn that I've explored before with a little cove in the middle of a badlands area. I do have a video on that in YouTube. You might find those. Another village over here, right by the shore. This is a good size one. And is this? Well, it's not really an island, is it? Or is this cut through? If that cuts through, this is an island. Maybe. Nope. They just got a little ravine here. So, not really an effective barrier, I don't think. Stuff can get through there. But it does make things kind of inconvenient. And yeah, this is all connected to the mainland, as it were. So yeah, it's almost an island. It's got a bit of a natural barrier there. Might make an interesting spot for a base, but there's no wood to speak of around. That's kind of a problem. If you were to, what's going on, kitty? What you meowing about? Yeah, poor little kitty had to go to the vet today. But she's okay. She got some medicine, and she will be fine. But yeah, if you were to make your base here, you would probably have to transplant some trees. And maybe put a wall around that, knock some sand down, or build that into the base. You know how I like to do. If you've seen my atrium base, you know I like to build into the sides of ravines. Now that was back in 117 and previous. The ravines in 118 can be a bit more diagonal, so that's going to be interesting. So I'm interested in trying that out. In fact, once 118 comes out, and I may wait until Optifine has its 118 release. It has a pre-release out, but I mean, it's definitely prior to the current release candidate 4. I'll have to check the dates and really maybe download it and look at the versions. I was kind of tempted. I've done those evolution videos in the past, showing how the terrain evolves through these different snapshots. I was just thinking earlier today that it might be interesting to see which of those worlds will load up in the that Optifine pre-release, just to see which ones will come in. But I kind of want to wait until it gets all finalized, and I also would have to kind of because the thing is with Optifine, you can set the render distance to like 64. Which I think I would have to probably give it a bit more, allocate a bit more memory. As it is, I always give it like 6 gig. I may have to bump that up to like 8 or something like that, maybe. And then see what that does, because yeah, I'm just rendering twice as far out. That's gonna be when you double one dimension, I think quadruple the area, and I think that holds for a circle as well. What's going on, kitty cat? You glad to be home? She's just meowing so much. But she is a meower. I don't know if it's picking up on the mic or not. But if it is, that's what you're hearing. It's not a cat down below in the game. It's an actual cat. I'm too far away from the game cats. So, yeah, what I'd like to do is kind of go back and revisit that and maybe do a final version, you know, loading each of those worlds in Optifine. Maybe, you know, turn off the shader that I used. Did I bump the mic? Sorry. Maybe turn off the shader that I used to, you know, simplify it further. And just see how that comes out. Or maybe try it with a shader. I don't know. Maybe it'll look nice. And then do a render from that. Now the thing is, what Optifine will let you do when you do your screenshots, there is a setting where there's like a resolution multiplier. So you could have it when you do your screenshot, it'll take the, you know, whatever your screen resolution is that you're playing at, or you can do it, I think, 2, 3, or 4 times the size. So yeah, I could be, you know, playing in 1080p HD like I do here, and then take some 4K screenshots, and then, you know, make a little slideshow or whatever out of that, which would, you know, look really nice, I think. You know, just kind of have those all loaded in and rendered. Ooh, let me see what we have here. See, now here we've gotten a little bit of the cliffs going. Oh, and that's poking up there. This isn't the same one we were seeing before, was it? Did we go full circle? I forget. I did not take down any coordinates. And I wasn't paying that much attention to how things look, to be honest. But I don't think this is the same area. Where are we, by the way? Oh, yeah, this is a different. Yeah, we're a good 4,000 plus chunks out from to the south, I guess. South towards Positive D. So yeah. So we're a good 4,000 blocks south. Yep. Okay, and there goes the simulation finally kicking in there. All right, so you know, over here, lurking over in the desert hills over there, we have some bad guys. This is a nice little cove. A lot of sand around it. I'm sure there's going to be some of that is not going to be entirely stable. That looks like it's on top of sandstone. It might not all be. So you may have to take a look around if you're going to build a base here and knock down whatever unstable sand you found. But yeah, this looks like a nice little hidden cove here. You do have this little dark area you might need to light up a bit for mobs. Some of the overhangs might be creating that as well, and some of the little caves in here. So yeah, you'd have to free it from the mobs a bit. We do. Oh, this is a pretty little waterfall here going down. Let's go down a little bit. Now, as far as navigability, coming from the ocean over here, I believe, you'd have to go through and around, and you may have to kind of cut a channel through here. Maybe over here, not sure. Okay, no, it just looks like it's navigable there. You got this overhang here that you may have to deal with. Although it looks like sandstone is holding it up. This is a little dead end here. but it's connects to these spires as well. And then over in this way, it connects to this spire. And this little area in here, that is actually a swamp biome. That's interesting. I wonder if we'll get any, and even, wow, and even up top. That is swamp biome way up at the top there. That's crazy. Basically stemming from here. So you would have maybe a little hunting ground here for slimes. So you might be getting some slimes spawning some night. I wonder if they would spawn up top here. Looks like some more azalea trees. Those are going to be really apparent out in the desert and the badlands. Those will be easy to find there if you're looking for that. A little temple over there, village right there. That's convenient. But this, you know, if you put your base over there, I'm thinking that might be out of range of simulation distance. So as long as you don't cross over to the other side of the swamp, you'll probably be okay. And there's a fair amount of water down here, so if they were to wander over this way, they'd run into that. But yeah, by the time they wander over that far, they're probably reaching their despawn time. So it's a safe enough distance, but you know, close enough to maybe make an expedition out there, I think. Maybe. I don't know. You be the judge. Let's get the coordinates for that. Minus 423, 45, 32. So like 420, 4500 will get you in the vicinity. Just aim for that, and you should find this little area. There's definitely some azaleas around, and so yeah, I'm thinking you're gonna be finding some lush caves down below. And yeah, you got the coral area over here. Is there any actual coral? What's a warm ocean? I don't think I see any coral there. Is that a... I thought maybe that was a geode, but it's just a little bit purpley water there. Yeah, so you got the warm ocean here. I guess this is temperate as well. And then the swamp there, just going right up to the peak. That's crazy. That's crazy. And of course, the landscape is dotted with these azalea trees, which I don't know about you. I always thought of azaleas as bushes, and they do have little azalea bushes as well, but then the big trees. So I guess, you know, sometimes they do get big. Come on, chunks, load up. All right, coming over this way, still following the shore. Now we've got another little village and another temple over here. So far, most of the mountains we've found have been just little isolated little things. I want to find like some big peaks. That's what I've not been seeing. Of course, I've been looking alongside the ocean. Did they adjust things so that the mountains just don't show up next to the ocean? I don't like that. I want to see some oceans and mountains right next to each other. I love that. Makes for some beautiful shorelines. Maybe it's just me, you know? But I think it makes for some beautiful shorelines. Just you know, a high, rugged coast, you know? And looking at this, you can see it's kind of steep, you know? But that's fine. And it's interesting. I get the desert village, and then like right next to a little bit of forest and a little bit of jungle. It's like more jungle over here. I guess it reaches over from there. And some plains and some savanna. Let's go ahead and let this load up. I want to see what's more is around here. getting on just about 2/3 through our exploration. Okay, now we got a little bit of hills here. Do we have some actual mountains coming up? That's what I want to know. It's like a spot of desert over there. So I don't know if this is beach or desert or what going through there. All right, so are we going to see anything more than just some meadows and stuff here? I want to see some mountains. I want to see a mountainous shore. That's what I like. That's what I love. And I've just not been seeing that in recent snapshots. It's like, I don't know. Maybe it's just this seed. Maybe I should pick a more random seed. I am, and I haven't really gone into a lot of the the world options, world generation options. When I'm starting worlds, basically just go with the default and whatever seed. And but I am kind of looking forward to trying out the amplified. Thinking of maybe doing a survival series in amplified. I think it would be fun. Would it be popular? I don't know. I'll have to find out. Looks like this is going to be spilling on down the hillside here. Yep, there it goes. It's going to keep on going. It's probably going to go. It might be. Oh, it might go into here. Let me set the time of the day again. I'm going to head over there. I want to see. I'm curious as to how far is it going to go. Is it going to get all the way down and go into? Well, not really a ravine, is it? Unless it kind of goes in at an angle there. It might go in a little ways. Okay, I'm curious now. Oh, got some grass fires here. It's spreading pretty good. Oh, does it? Oh, did it reach the end? Is that as far as it's going? Oh, that is disappointing. That is disappointing. Oh, man. I was so hoping it would make it all the way down. I was so hoping. I'm tempted to like knock out a block. Let me check something. So, oh, this is a neat little village here. With lots of walkways. You know, this is what I'm talking about. They've got the walkways going out. Of course, they got these little floating islands of stuff here in the water. And look at that. Just floating dirt. That's just nuts. Yeah, I have things to say about that, but I am holding my tongue because I have something in mind that I want to do about that. So the time will come. Let's see what's over here. It looks like a little bit more in the way of cliffs here. Maybe there'll be more to it over this way. That's a nice little cave there. Or a nice cave entrance. I don't know how deeply in it goes. Looks like it goes, it's got the little water down there. Let's go check it out. Why not? I've been mostly doing a lot of flyover stuff in here, so haven't really been going into cliff so much lately. Okay, we're going to need a lantern. Set up a little light down here. Oh, yeah, look at this. Can I reach it? Can I reach it? I think you just set it in there. Oh, it goes around it. Dang it. I messed up the... I don't want to mess up the flow. Put it next to it, though. Got no problem with that. Can I reach that? Not quite, but I can reach there. So yeah, this is pretty cool. And it's like just barely navigable as far as climbing around. You might have some trouble getting back up from there if you're not creative like I am now. Oh man, this waterfall just goes way on down. Hey guy. Hey little fella. What's going on? Alright, I'm gonna go back to flying. Because we're getting deep now and it's dark. Not the deep dark yet. We don't have that yet in this update. But it's coming. The deep dark is coming later. In 119, the wild update. Because it does look like it's going to be pretty wild. Ooh, some nice waterfalls here. Supplement the light a little bit. Ooh. That's neat. Going in, just kind of splits and goes into that little crack there. Wonder how deep that goes. Nice. Light up the water a bit where we can. That's nice. Actually, you know what? Since we're down here, I should brighten that up a bit. Let you guys see what we're looking at. There we go. And you can see a bit. Hey, creeper. Oh, a little cave back behind here. Nice. Got some copper. Oh, this looks like a vein. This looks like a little vein here. Oh, a lot of copper. And the, what you call it there? Wow. Okay. Yeah, we got a vein coming through here. If you're looking for copper, that's looks like the place to go. Oh, yeah, it reaches over this way, too. Nice. Yep. One of those veins you hear tell about. I believe this is. Alright, let's head back up. Got a light there. Because why not? Nice. Okay, this is, yeah, a little, oh, that's a little hidden little thing, isn't it? I think we were over on this side of it over here. Because we got the cave mouth, was that the one? Let me put the thing back to default here. Or was it over here? Was that even it? I guess it was this one here. I think this is where we went in. Yeah. Okay, just get it, wasn't seeing it by the right angle. Because, yeah, there's the lanterns we put in on the way in. Yeah, and then another entrance over off over there. Yeah, you'll see a lot of connections like that in the caves, coming out in other places. All right, so here it looks like all right, so we got a nice stone shore along here. I think that might have been where we came out, wasn't it? Could be. So I got a nice little stone shore along here, kind of bordering the water and the jungle up here, which is nice. So especially since you got a little jungle temple up in here. Little caves in here. It looks like some lush caves back in there, maybe. Yeah, it looks like it. That's nice. Bamboo just growing right off of there. Nice place for it. That looks like it would be a neat place to explore in survival. We're going to come this way a bit, I think. I was hoping... Yeah, it looks like we got some steep shore, but not really the rocky stuff like we had over there. And then just the river going through all this. Which is nice. And it looks like it bends over that way. Around this kind of jungly mountain here. But then it goes into birch. Which is a interesting transition. Alright, I'm not really seeing much in the way of like any kind of mountains beyond this. Which is really what we're looking for. A little bit there, but oh, or maybe a little bit more. But it looks like it's just maybe a little bit of broken terrain there. Shattered, whatever. Pretty neat. But not the kind of mountainous shore that I'm really looking for. That I'm hoping to find in the next quarter hour or so. Which is the remainder of the stream. So let's head back to the ocean and continue on. Is this? No, it's just island. Okay. Thought maybe it was like ocean ruin kind of thing. Load up, chunks. Alright, continuing this way. We're going to be getting into some more newly generated areas, so that's going to kind of slow the chunk loading a bit. Now remember, we are flying around here in creative, so we're moving a bit faster than you normally would when you're, exploring on foot or even in a boat, I think. So playing survival probably won't have this much of a chunk loading lag. And you probably won't be playing at the 32 chunk render distance either. This I'm doing just for exploration's sake, just to see. A little fjord here through the savannah. Interesting. A little bit of a cave underneath there and down into there as well. Neat little spot to explore. If you're coming through on foot. Okay. Where are you, mountains? I want some good mountainous shore. I'm not sure I'm going to find it where there's jungle. Because we don't really want a jungle biome. We want a mountain biome. And I'm thinking the mountain biomes ought to be able to just border on like anything. That's my thinking, and maybe it does. I don't know. I don't know all of the inner workings of terrain generation. I know a lot of it's based on the the Perlin noise function. Um, which a lot of that thing is. All right, getting around this way. Let's see what we find. Come on, mountains. This is obviously not mountains. So the question is, where are the mountains? This is supposed to be caves and cliffs. Where are the cliffs? I've seen lots of caves. Not seeing so many cliffs. Is that something that's going to be coming in Release Candidate 5? Release Candidate 5. Oh, we put the cliffs back. Let's do that, Mojang. Or however it's pronounced. I know it's not I'm pronouncing the J maybe incorrectly, but I have an American accent. Maybe the folks over there think it's, sounds exotic and charming. I don't know. For me to pronounce it Mojang. I hope so. I hope they're not hearing people pronouncing that way and like, cringing or whatever, but I think it's, hopefully maybe endearing and exotic and all that stuff. I know accents that are foreign to me sound kind of neat like that sometimes. If it's, close enough to the pronunciation I'm used to in order to, to be, intelligible, to not get in the way of communication, because that's really what, talking is for. All right, okay, that's an interesting thing. I don't see any blocks up above it. Why is that dark? That might be a chunk lighting bug. That might be a bug right there. I'm gonna head over there. Actually, I'm gonna head over there. I'm gonna do the little render distance reset thing to get the frames per second up again. But first, I wanna record some coordinates for this. Okay, we're roughly in the middle here. So that is coordinates 408, 856 for your X and Z. And there's your seed. And that is 118 Release Candidate 4. If anyone cares to check that out, see if they can duplicate that, and if it's not just a little glitch that happened along the way, we'll find out. Actually, right now, first thing we're going to do is see if it survives that little reset I'm going to do. Let's see what happens. Okay, well, that lighting thing kind of survived that. So it looks like the light from the sky is like not reaching this, but the light from the bordering chunks are propagating inwards to it. That's my interpretation of it. Does it continue down below? You can see it's up on the surface. Is it dark down here as well? It kind of looks like it. Yeah. So like the whole thing is in shadow. It's almost like there's something above it, but there isn't. There's nothing there. It's just that chunk is somehow not being illuminated directly by the skylight. What happens if we set the time to night? Still like so. Midnight. Still there. Back to day. So that does not seem to affect it at all. Just changes the light level in general. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to play with it. What would happen if I started putting some blocks above it and then breaking it? If that would reset it or not. Not sure. But yeah, not gonna fiddle with that. We want to find mountains, and we're being distracted by that. But it is quite the distraction. Yeah, I'm interested in that. If that will come back, if I were to exit and get back into the world. Very interested. Should I do it? Yeah, we got a little bit of time. You know what? I'm going to title, save in world, back into it. You can see I've been doing a lot of converted worlds. All right. Let's see if that comes back like it was. Getting there, getting there. And now it's looking normal. So, yeah. Whatever it is that was going on there, it does not get saved. So, yeah, if you run into that, probably just exiting and re-entering your world should, take care of that. If it happens on a server, I don't know. Maybe the chunk would have to get unloaded and reloaded somehow. But it doesn't look like it gets saved. So there's that. All right, so what shore to follow? Yeah, let's go over this way. We'll portage across here and follow the shore of this ocean instead. Just to vary it a bit. Getting into more plains over here, so maybe we'll run into some mountains and also forest. Because it seems like those hot biomes, they tend to be lower. What do we got? Oh, we got a little fire going over there. It must be a lava pit. And of course, we're getting over into jungle again. More hot biomes. This seems to be a hot world. You know? This seems to be a hot world. I mean, so much badlands and stuff like that. And desert and jungle. This seems to be a hot world, or maybe we're just exploring a hot region of it. I don't know. I'm not sure what scale. I know they also do like the Perlinoise thing to determine the hot versus cold and all that. I don't know what scale that's on. I know a while back, one of the things they did was scale up the size of biomes. So just in general, things are going to be a bit more spread widely. Although when you find a biome, it will be bigger. Which really I think fits with the vertical scaling that you get in this new version coming out. So I think that's appropriate. Whoops. We just did not have anything in the command buffer there. All right, little Little waterfall in this little hollow here. Pretty. Cocoa tree in the middle there. That's nice. All right, are we kind of back to where we started? Where's my coordinates? No, not really. Don't think so anyway. Hard to say. We might be circling back. Oh, wait. You know what? I think we saw that before. So yeah, we are back more or less to where we started. So I think we kind of circled our oceans there. Didn't really find any mountains there. So let me see if there's anything in my notes about past landmarks that we might want to revisit. Let's see. This is one that I've done some evolution videos on. Let's see if it's still there. This should be in the Badlands with a coral cove right in the middle of it. Which you can see right down there below. And of course, this is our first time hitting it in this snapshot, so these chunks are not yet generated, so they're gonna be a little bit slow until they take off. Little lava fall there, and you got a little coral in this little bay here, and we should have some fairly sizable mountains here in the Badlands, as you can see coming up there. It just keeps going up, doesn't it? I forget exactly how tall that went, but it's good sized. Yeah, this is in the, oh man, it just keeps going up. This is in the midst of a pretty big badlands biome. Although this section, oh, that's so nice. This section is like, you know, right on this little bay here off a bit of ocean there. And there's more ocean on the other side over here as well, which is being generated as we speak. Eventually that'll come up. But yeah, I got these big, huge mountains here. If you need to get yourself some terracotta, you know, this is terracotta or us over here. There's a bunch of it. There's a bunch to be had. This is gigantic. This is so cool. I love this. Now, one thing I have noticed, once you go down a bit under the terracotta on the surface, a lot of times you get to just rock. Now, in the real Badlands, you get this striping here. It's because all of the land is all of these layers, and then in some places it's been eroded away, so you can see those layers from the side. But those layers go all the way through the mountain. But I think in the Minecraft mountains here, it only goes like so down so far from the surface. So this is like a coating of this terracotta on like a stone mountain, if I remember correctly from what I've seen inside. It's not through and through terracotta, which I'm thinking maybe it should be. You know, if someone can do a mod to do that, that would be cool. But maybe it's just for the sake of game balance. They decided not to have that much terracotta and have like the whole mountain of terracotta or whatever. Which I guess is understandable. But I think it would be cool to have it go all the way through, you know? That's what I think anyway. Let's see. Where else can we go? Oh, this was another nice one that I found. This one I call Big Cave Falls, and I am thinking we're probably going to end here. Just to see if this place is still there, because I know they've done a little bit of tweaking on some of this stuff. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Water's falling down there. There it goes. You can just make it out. Yep, there it goes. And going over the edge over here as well. Oh, man. This is nice. Any spilling out from this? Doesn't look like it. But yeah, I should do another evolution video for this one. But there's so much, like, even surrounding it. I mean, look at all that. It's such a beautiful area. And I believe I found this when I was just following this river along. And I think this eventually goes over to that bay. I think I was maybe following this river along to the bay. This looks like an observatory or something, but no, it's just a tree sticking out. But yeah, I think that bay is like somewhere off in that direction, if I remember right. But yeah, this is just these huge caves right here into it. And you can see here how the terracotta only just goes down so far. And there's just like, it just kind of blankets the stone and yet somehow still has the strata. And it would be interesting to see these caves forming just into the strata, you know, instead of the stone on the inside. Wow. Wow, this is cool. Holy cow. All right, I'm going to turn that brightness back up. So that maybe I can see a little bit of this. But this is so cool. This is gigantic. This is gigantic. Oh, and they got the whole big dripstone column, like big columns going down there. Oh, this is amazing. This is the caves that they promised. These are the caves that they promised. Is this little iron in there? Wow, how deep does this go? See, this is just now getting to the deep slate. And it looks like it goes farther in. Some more deep slate there. So I don't know how deep this actually goes, but it goes. This is so neat, you know. And this, right in the middle of this gorgeous badlands. This is a beautiful location. Yeah, I definitely need to do something featuring this. Yes, indeed. All right, so I'm thinking. Whoa, holy cow! Yeah, this is getting a little jaggy there. But I think if we duck down here where we can't see quite everything, it gets a little better. All right, so I think that is going to conclude our broadcast day. I'd love to keep going, but I got other things that I do need to do today, as do we all. You know what it's like. Anyway, let me just give you another peek here of the coordinates. You can see we're way out, way, way, way out. And there's the seed. Take a look. come try it out. Come take a look at this this cavern. This is amazing, and you'll have a good time boating your way over to this thing as well. Especially if you make your way through over here in survival, over to this area. I think it's well worth the trip. Even if it gets a little rainy sometimes. Man, with the whole video without it raining, and now it starts. Yep. Yeah, even if you get a little rain along the way, I think it's well worth it. A lot of stuff to be found in this cave. All of the little stalactites and stalagmites and the dripstone and all this stuff. It's huge. It's beautiful. There's a couple different openings there. Pick whatever you want. Watch out for that spider down there, or whatever happens to be in there. And yeah, it's just amazing. Anyway, hope y'all had fun. I know I did. And there's more fun to come. Tomorrow is supposed to be the final release. And actually, I am going to launch the launcher real quick, just as a quick check to see if we don't have a release candidate 5. Nope, still on a release candidate 4. So, yeah, that might be the last, what you're looking at here might be it. Unless that one little chunk lighting thing, if they decide that that's worth fixing, maybe they'll do a release candidate 5. Don't know. But in any case, final release is tomorrow. So, hope y'all are ready. Now, once that comes along, a lot of people are going to be getting into it, trying it out. A lot more than who have been trying out the snapshots and pre-releases and release candidates and all that. So that is probably going to dig up a few other bugs as well. So it would not be surprised if it was followed fairly soon by a 1.18.1 to fix some stuff that comes up in that. But we shall see. Anyway, until then, goodbye.